congratulations on the movie. Seeing the theatre last night was amazing. Was that the first time you've all seen it with an audience?
Yes.
Did you stay for the reactions? Did you hear the laughter and applause? What was that like?
Really, really special. I don't know. You get really obviously nervous and uncomfortable when you make something and you put it out to the world and you really hope that people, feel something. But to hear like audible reactions and kind of get a sense of people connecting with it in some way was really special. And I didn't get to stay for the whole thing. I had to sneak out because I promised fans that I would come back to say hi. Lovely. They were across the street and I felt really bad, so I didn't want to keep them waiting. So I didn't wait to the very end. So, but I did get I was actually really enjoying it. I thought I was going to be really nervous, but I was like, actually, this is kind of fun. Everybody's enjoying it. This is going well. I don't want to leave.
And what I thought was interesting is that when you left the stage, you turned to the audience and said, please don't judge these characters, give it a moment. And I saw both of you nod in agreement. Are you worried at all that people were going to judge the characters? Was that something playing in your minds?
I don't know if I'm worried so much as like I know that your opinion will change upon watching it again. So it's like you have, I think as all humans do, you judge, right? And you have like a preconceived idea and then you watched it and you're like, okay, this is how I've decided that I feel. But I truly believe that with a piece like this, at least my experience and the experience of like when I bring friends and family to see the film a couple times, and each time the responses are different and my responses emotionally are different. And I feel for different characters at different moments, and someone that I was really upset with, I'm like, oh, actually, you know what? Now I'm on their side, and that continues to change every time I watch it, and I come up with new feelings and ideas about these characters, and I'm in the dang movie, so I've already done all these thinking, and I still keep thinking about it. So, I think that's kind of the idea: is just stay open, and I promise your thoughts will continue to change every time you watch it.
Well, something I loved about the movie was the dynamic between the three of your characters and the chemistry, but I also loved how it explored this idea of what happens when your big career dream goes away and whether you have to change it or choose something different. So I wanted to ask the three of you if there's been a moment in your career where you've missed out on a job or had to change what you wanted to do, or an audition, a meeting, anything that you could then channel into these characters who have to change their big dreams.
When your job is your passion, there is like this kind of crossroads, and I'm sure like plenty of actors interact with this at several times in their career if they're lucky. I think this moment of like, this is my passion. If you've been doing it since you're a kid, it's like doing school plays, and it's like so exciting and fun, and then suddenly that fun, exciting thing and this idea of losing yourself in a character that in someone that isn't you, and showing empathy to someone who's flawed, whatever it is that kind of gets you going, suddenly that's also your job. Right. And there is a sort of difficulty in that, and there's a bit of like movement and adjustments you have to make, and sometimes that can feel like it's pushing you away a little bit.
Yeah, that's an interesting way to put it, because your characters in the adult version are all in their 30s, which is so young, but they've all got this fatigue around them of, I can't carry this anymore in some different way.
Tail end of their careers.
Yeah.
Because tennis is a short sport, is the truth of the matter. And
to be an athlete.
And they don't stop. They just go from one tournament to the next. Like, they don't stop. I couldn't imagine doing that. And having that is
can't stop. You're on like a rank.
Yeah, and having a shelf life is weird, actually. If you think about that.
We can act however old we are.
And we could stop for a while and we could pick it back up. It really is. But for them, they have a finite amount of time until their bodies actually just say you can't do it anymore.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that really came across in the film, so you all did a good job of bringing that part of your characters to life. And I know you were speaking about the filming process and how intricate that was, and tennis lessons and gym, and how much time you've spent together. So I wanted to know from each of you, what is the most surprising thing that you've learned about each other during the filming process?
Zendaya had the strongest core. Like, do you remember this?
That was
I forgot about that.
That was fully insane.
I'm glad you reminded me of something I can brag about.
There was this
so I can hold over you guys.
It was like a diaphragm thing,
Remember
there was this balloon.
I couldn't do it for a second.
There was like this balloon, and we would lay on it on our back. I'm getting really awkward as I try to present this. But there was this
I love that you remember that.
It was crazy because I remember, and it had this indicator, and they instructed us to engage our core. And when Josh and I did it, like, you know, the ticker went, and we're like, oh, that's pretty good. And then
Yeah.
Z did it, and it like broke the meter.
Oh, wow.
It actually, the needle went literally all the way.
Just a subtle
She's
point.
jacked.
Yeah. I feel like one of the things I learned about us three is that, like, certainly if I think back to day one, where we have now established we were all super anxious and nervous.
Yeah.
Gosh.
But
How
I think-
comfortable we ended up getting.
yeah, how
It's
comfortable
like,
we ended up. But actually, that was my big discovery. I think is that, like, from the
all
outside, I see
insecure.
Mike, like in West Side Story, and you're like in awe, and I see Zendaya in the Euphoria, and I'm like, oh my god. And you think that these people are like, which I imagine everyone sees that with all actors like, in some ways, that they're like
Like,
indestructible and like,
otherworldly and-
Yeah.
But we're all a mess. We're all like super nervous and anxious,
Yeah.
scared that we're not good enough, like,
Yeah.
you know, have like bad things to say to ourselves in our heads, you know.
I think what I
That
learned
was
too
fun.
is that like I think at least I know that I like to have fun and enjoy the process too, and I know that like you never quite know like what people's acting method might be or how they might want to what like you might be like, oh okay, I'm not gonna mess with Mike today, you know, he's in it all day and I'm not gonna talk to him. But I appreciated that there was like also just like there was a joy and like
Yeah.
a fun and a lightheartedness, because I feel like we all knew that like these characters were deeply intense and like going through all this like turmoil and whatever, but we were able to like have those moments with our characters, turn it off, and then just like have fun and
Yeah.
like not be too serious and
Yeah.
too, you know, intense all the time. So I think I appreciated that you guys also brought that joy to what you did and made it a fun place to go to work.
Oh, that's such an interesting takeaway. And thank you so much for your time. The movie's amazing. Congratulations again.
Thanks so
Thank you
much.
so much.